Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric, and in brewing beer, I've long envied those folks that had a Conical. I've always used glass carboys, in large part because of their low cost. And I've particularly recently admired those people that have had the whole brewing systems, where you can go from doing your all-grain brew right in a complete easy-to-run vessel. There's a number out there, the Grain Maker, there's the one out of Germany, and then there's the one out of Vancouver that's brewing a Conical. All these are great ideas, really simplify things, and I've long envied that. And particularly the guys out in Vancouver with brewing in a Conical, I thought they had a great idea with their system, where in boiling and doing your whole brew in that Conical, you sterilize it. And this really brought things down to earth for me. I wanted that type of system, but I didn't want to pay their high prices. And I have done a little bit of welding on the stainless, particularly making the pizza oven this past year. So I figured I'd see how cheaply I could produce my own Conical of that nature, that I could brew right in the Conical, go all the way from grain to beer to then right into the keg. So I grabbed some stainless steel pots, and this is the set that's out of Harbor Freight. It's 20 bucks for the 4 pots. The largest one is 4 gallons. And then I grabbed another 5-gallon pot, and here's the remnants of it, and that was just under 20 bucks itself. And I'm about halfway through the process. You can tell that I just came out of welding and I need to peen things flat. But basically what we've got here is the 4-gallon bucket, or the pot, the largest of the ones that came in that pot set. I've cut the bottom off, and I've used that 5-gallon pot to form the material for the Conical, the cone. Form that up, weld it in place, and then I've got my tri-clamps. These tri-clamps are really easy. You can get them off of eBay, Amazon. You order them directly from China, and they're cheap. I think one of these weld-on collars for the 1.5-inch size runs about $1.50 to $3, somewhere around there. Get the clamps, the gaskets, all the fittings, flats and rounds, all of that. Very low cost, and shipped direct to you very simply too. So that covers off most of that. I've got a 2-inch port here for the heating element that I'm making up. Then the other fittings for thermal wells and the racking and the scrub drain at the bottom. So that's the bottom part. Next part, we took the top for this 4-gallon pot, cut out the center, and we welded it to the next size up in terms of pots. We've got that sitting in there. And we'll have to do the clamps around and peen everything out, clean up the welds as well, but we're only about halfway through this project. We have to put a stand on it too. We just got the stainless steel for the legs. We've got the top for this next in the range size of pots. We put on a couple of tri-clamp, 1.5 inches. So that'll go on there, allowing us to do the brewing part. And then when it comes to fermentation, this is the bottom out of the 5-gallon pot that will mount up and clamp into position. So again, some peening needed to bring everything back to flat. So a really cool project that's turning out pretty good. Welding the pretty thin sheet steel that comes on these cheap pots is a bit of a challenge, especially distortion, but it's a good exercise with the Henrob torch. So I'm gaining a bit more familiarity there and becoming more proficient as I go along. One of the really nice things that I like about this is that in brewing in it, I really am going to sanitize some of those not so great welds, but I've got little pockets or something like that that might be a hassle otherwise to sterilize effectively. But 90 minutes at boiling temperatures that'll do a pretty awesome job of fixing up where I fall short in welding. So if you want to know more about these, I'll post some more videos of the process that has gotten me to this stage, as well as going forward. And you can follow all the details through EnduringTechnologyPress.com. There's the link in the show notes. Thanks.